let's just bring it in. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Hal Sparks, Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show, etc., etc., etc. Hi, everybody. Hi, chat room. Welcome, the greatest chat room in the history of chat rooms. What's going on? Good to see you. There's been a lot of stuff to cover, and not the least of which is a lot of the, do I call it fireworks or flameworks, I guess, around Kash Patel blathering and arguing as the director of the FBI with Congress, like how dare the people with that are elected representatives who are charged with oversight of the FBI ask him any goddamn questions. Now, I'd like to remind you that these are the same people that called Christopher Wray a member of the deep state because he's appointed, not elected. So is Kash Patel. Kash Patel has never run for office, never represented a group of people other than the interests of whoever put him in that position, and this is certainly no fucking different. And so watching him kind of flail about as a newly minted member of the deep state has been particularly fun. And he's not enjoying his day. I'm just going to throw that out there and let you just do with that what you will. Now, a lot of this has to do with, obviously, Charlie Kirk shooting last week and the fact that he didn't do shit. He had a really nice fancy dinner with the president. He used the FBI's plane to go see some UFC fights. And then he had them fly him to the scene so he could walk around like he was an extra on FBI, the series, and smell rocks. Like, I think I taste the killer's DNA on it. It tastes trans. Like it's just fucking stupid. It's embarrassing. It's lame. It's cowardly. It's pathetic. It's weak. It's self-involved. And it's fucking dangerous because the FBI has a serious job and he's not a serious person. Okay, on top of that, he's not getting help from the right. Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. This is the thumbnail on Pat Gray's show, the aptly named Pat Gray, who, you know, looks like melted butter and is ashy, to say the least. The entire episode of Pat Gray Unleashed today is Where Are the Epstein Files? With guest Adam Johnson, lectern guy. That's the guy who stole the lectern from the White House. Remember the guy from the Capitol who walked out on Jan 6? He's their guest because they needed an expert on being an anti-American piece of shit or something. Or somebody who ironically is shocked that while, he got, punted and set free, he's going to criticize the people that Trump put in place because he's just now realizing they lied to him because he's adult or something. All right, so let me show you a little something about the top of this thing. Okay.
This resulted in several...
Wait, back up. So here is Pat Gray doing the intro where they're going to talk about how, I don't know, trans something or other
like
is the cause of something transy or something like that. And the idea that Groypers are being blamed, even though there's plenty of overlap. But because he's gay, he can't possibly be a Republican or a conservative. Scott Bessent, Peter Thiel, et al. Never mind. But in this particular, watch what happens. I want to show you at the beginning of the show when they're about to go into this whole like Charlie Kirk sympathy chunk, so that they can stiff arm any criticism of themselves. They can use basically Charlie Kirk's death as a human shield. Watch what happens because their person in their control room is a fuck up.
No, I mean, it could be. I don't know. But it isn't a Republican. Now, yes, his family certainly is.
Yeah.
That's pretty clear. Most everybody in the family. There might be some, I think were there two people that were saying negative things about him at whatever dinner we've heard about multiple times.
Yes.
But here was Utah County District Attorney Jeff Gray yesterday.
Who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black That doesn't seem like
Can you
Jeffrey
kill this
Gray.
clip, please?
Whoops. That's my favorite part of it. You're not supposed to play that part. Don't play that. You play shit. You're supposed to play the part where a trans person shot somebody, right? Okay.
Here was Utah County District Attorney Jeff Gray yesterday.
Not quite.
Who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Not this clip.
That doesn't seem like
Can you
Jeffrey
kill this
Gray.
clip, please?
Don't know where that came from exactly.
There we go.
You don't? It's your fucking boss. It's in your computer. You are planning on playing it at some point. All right. So they go through and he plays a lot of the Utah governor stuff about him. And I don't know if they break into the conversation. I don't quite care. The whole thing is about like, who he is and what he said, and they're all back and forth. And then at some point, let's see, this is the this is an ad for preborn. And then here you go. So
off to the side, looks over at him and goes, "Oh crap, he's not done yet." And there's and then picks up another phone on the other side of that one. It's unbelievable.
That's funny. Good catch.
honestly, I don't know what the fuck they're playing over this video or they're watching. Okay, but here's
that rant of false information does not bring this country together. If you want to work on bringing this country, it's my time, not yours.
My God.
If you want to talk about
dividing this country,
it is my
I follow
time.
you on your social media posts that
It is
tear
my
this country
time
apart.
to
There
address
should be a
your
unified-
falsehoods.
Oh,
you
You are an
can
embarrassment
try all
to the
you
division
want
in this country.
to not
Senator,
take
it is my
responsibility
time.
for what
You had
have
your
said.
time.
Sir,
I would like to point out what we're actually seeing here, first principles. We're seeing an unelected bureaucrat who was appointed, a political appointee of the administrative state, telling an elected representative that they don't deserve to be listened to and that they're a liar and whatever. Effectively, by reflection, calling all of those voters that, while himself not being answerable to any vote whatsoever. Also, fuck him, and this is just ridiculous.
you're
Your
making
time
a
is
mockery of this
over.
committee. Sir, you don't tell me my time is over.
You
The
know how
people
far
of New
we've
Jersey
come
tell me
since-
what
That's right, because he's an elected representative.
my time is. You can't lecture me.
You can tell me
Sir,
my time's over?
You may be the charge of the
I'm not
FBI,
going anywhere.
but I am not afraid of you. sir.
Mr. Chairman,
Not afraid of you.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Ooh.
Senator Booker, I announced at the beginning of this meeting that
That I was gonna let him do a rebuttal on everything that is said, so I don't listen here. I've only got about a year and a half left of gavel-holding strength in my pedubular tendon on my outer carbuncular, and it's eventually gonna snap like a cat tail in a dry creek bed. So I promised Kash Patel in our little chat group that we run on Signal that after you guys gave him the what for, I'd let him just ramble on like he was like he's rambling. And scene. Thank you very much. Thank you. That will be my Chuck Grassley for the week. Now I will go back to my regular job of constantly auditioning but not getting the job of being a sidekick in an old spaghetti western. Hee-hoo! Looks like there's Indians up on that hill. With all deference to our FBI director, I'm referring to Injuns, not Indians. I don't need to hear anything from the other side of the aisle about Columbus's sense of direction. Now, I'm from Iowa, where everything is flat. So anyways, there's a lot of yelling and stomping about. But the fun part was the fact that in all this, everybody's, bringing up where are the Epstein files. And they show clips of Kash Patel, responding, but not the part where they're criticizing. So they make I'm just going to give you the fucking cliff notes of this nonsense. While and by the way, the stench in this fucking room must be off the charts. Like the amount of just the wind breaks and stays broken. Can you imagine these old farts sitting in a room sealed in a soundproof chamber? Oof. You know where the blaze got its name is because out of a fear that someone will light a match in this fucking room. So, this is, and there's tons of this pushback. I'll give you a little slice of that. Let's jump to this business.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Patel, before you joined the FBI, you
Or
had
sorry,
very strong opinions
Pramila
about
Jayapal,
what
and
the
then-
FBI
yeah,
was
maybe.
hiding regarding Jeffrey Epstein. In a September 2023 interview with Glenn Beck, you said the Black Book is under the, quote, direct control of the director of the FBI.
Now, that was the clip that I was just showing you that Pat Gray accidentally showed on his channel and didn't want to, and went like, cut, don't show that, right? Because there's several areas where, you know, Kash Patel's bullshitted everybody who's on fucking Bongholio's podcast, and anybody who would have him basically smoking cigars and hanging out and bullshitting people and lying about what he said he knew, which obviously is not true and turned out to be false. Even when he thought it was true. But this is a clip actually from Glenn Beck and actually from The Blaze. So of all things for the fucking dudes that Pat Gray showed accidentally put on the air, it is so choice. It's bad to be part of, like, on the wrong side of selling a controversy, right? You're trying to patch it up for somebody else. That's always bad. But when you are the evidence that it's bullshit, it stings a little.
In December 2023, you said, let us know who the pedophiles are. Even for a short time after becoming FBI director, in February of 2025, you tweeted, quote, there will be no cover-ups, no missing documents, no stone left unturned. In June, you told Joe Rogan, quote, we've reviewed all the information, we're going to give you every single thing we have and can. But then suddenly in July, everything changed. You and Attorney General Pam Bondi released one video and said that there was nothing more to see. Your July memo says you
unsigned memo. It's not his memo. It's all three of them, and none of them wanted to sign it because they're all liars and wussies.
Covered more than 300 gigabytes of data and physical evidence, but that you had decided no further disclosure would be appropriate or warranted. That is a quote. I think what happened, Mr. Patel, is that suddenly you discovered that Donald Trump's name was all over these files, and you started a giant cover-up. So you are under oath, Mr. Patel. You just testified to Mr. Swalwell that you did not speak to the president about the Epstein files. To your knowledge, did Attorney General Pam Bondi speak to the president about what was in the Epstein files?
I can't speak for Attorney General Pam Bondi.
So to your knowledge, you...
Hey, asshole. She didn't ask you to speak for Pam Bondi. She asked, to your knowledge, what did they talk about? Meaning, what'd you hear? Were you in the room when it fucking happened? Not other conversations you may have had elsewhere, you dodgy prick.
You don't have any information. The question was, do you have any knowledge? Do you have any knowledge?
I can't speak.
You are
for the
refusing to
Attorney
answer the
General,
question, so
Pam
let me
Bondi.
tell you that the Wall Street Journal reported that in May, Bondi told Trump that he was in the Epstein files, and at the same meeting said that the DOJ did not plan to release the files. Yesterday, you testified to Senator Kennedy that there was, quote, no credible information that Epstein trafficked girls to anyone else, and that you have, quote, continuously and publicly asked the public to come forward with more information, and we'll look into it. Today,
Ask the fucking public. Is there anything this motherfucker, as the head of the FBI, is expecting to get except when other people do his goddamn job for him? I mean, the Kirk's killer turned himself in. Maybe that's how this dumb motherfucker thinks everything works.
In response to Mr. Massey's question, you appear to say that the survivors were not credible. These are survivors.
That's not at all what I said.
Okay, great. I'm going to ask you this in a second, but let me tell you
Okay,
about
well,
the
then don't lie about
survivors,
me.
and let's bring them up here into the room. These are women who came to the Hill and testified that they were groomed and raped at the age of 14 and 16 years old, and they called to meet with the president and to meet with the FBI and to have people investigate their claims. Some of them have never testified before. If you are so interested in getting the public to submit any information, why have you not met with them? You said you haven't met with them. Have you met with them? I'll give you one more chance.
My job as the FBI director is to
Is
invite
the
all
answer yes or
investigative
no
leads.
to whether or not you met with these women who were sexually abused and raped?
Any insinuation by you or any
What
people
is
on
the
your
an-
side that I am not manhunting child predators and sex traffickers just
Oh yeah, no. Believe me, the FBI's on that job all the time. You're not, motherfucker. You're going to UFC fights on the taxpayer's dime. You're dicking around with Donald Trump and making fucking phone calls and playing FBI after the fact at crime scenes. You're not doing shit.
look at the
Mr.
stats.
Patel,
And you talk
Mr.
about
Chairman,
cover-ups, man.
Mr. Chairman,
you
this
talk
is
about
my time,
cover-ups.
and I will take
Why-
as much time as I
Where were
want.
you during the
Instruct
Obama
the
and Biden
witness, Mr.
administrations
Chairman.
when these so-called
Instruct the
cover-ups were
witness.
going on?
Mr.
Why didn't
Chairman.
anyone in those administrations talk to any of these
Mr.
purported
Chairman.
witnesses?
Let's
I
get
have
some regular order, Mr.
every
Chairman.
single person to provide credible information.
Time belongs to the gentlelady from Washington.
And I'm
but
gonna
when you-
take
when
another
you
couple
accuse
of
the
minutes.
witness of something, he's allowed to respond. That's how it works. You say
Listen, he
something,
didn't
you say
even,
something-
excuse me,
Mr. Chairman.
She didn't accuse him of anything. She asked specifically, did he meet with him? And he dodged like a bitch.
Chairman, you have
Point
always
of
been
order.
fair, but
I'm-
this is
and I'm
not
being
fair.
fair, and you will get
no,
your-
this
you will
is
get your
my
time.
and he
You will give the
said
gentlelady
that the
a few
witnesses
additional
were not credible.
seconds of time.
I'm going to get an additional minute of time because
No,
that's
you'll
how
get
much
what
time
you
he
won't
took.
get a minute. You'll get some seconds. What we think is under 5 minutes. You don't get to demand how
Mr.
much time you
Patel.
get. That's not how it works.
Mr. Patel, are the victims of the Jeffrey Epstein horrific trafficking ring, are they credible?
Any person with information about ongoing sexual trafficking.
I'm asking you if they're credible.
Ma'am, I'm
Are
commenting
they
on the
credible?
evidence we have.
But
And we have routinely asked for people to come forward with more evidence.
They did come forward, you dumb motherfucker. Oh, this is so great. But it's easy to get riled up about this because he's so fucking gross. But this is awesome because this motherfucker knows that Trump has handed him a shovel, said dig a hole, get in the hole, and fill it back in. He's the perfect slime ball patsy for this shit. He is succumbing to this bullshit willingly, but as I showed you on that Pat Gray shit that they're playing clips of this kind of stuff, and let's see if I could where's that fucking title page? Did I shut it? Damn it. Anyways, the Pat Gray clip, the literal title from today is "Where are the Epstein Files?" And it's got him on a picture of him, and it says there's no black book. It's this dodge, this disseminating, this flailing bullshit is not working, which is fantastic. Peter, thank you so much. Oh my God. But thank you for the super chat. As infuriating as it is for us to watch, it's equally, ironically, infuriating for maggots. And this is good news. This is especially good news for the victims eventually, because they are going to see justice, because nobody, even the most maggoty faithful, are gonna let it slide. We certainly aren't. And a lot of those folks are going to have to decide next year. Am I going to vote for Republicans in the House and the Senate and continue, feeding the ability for Kash Patel and people like him to hide the Epstein files amongst all the other bullshit that Trump is doing? Or do I either vote for Democrats, which is a long shot, I understand, for a bunch of them, but for the independents it isn't? Or do I just stand down? Fuck this, I'm going home. And this moment, these hearings are making a bunch of those people go, fuck it, I'm going home. So, there you go.
We will look at it, and the evidence that we have was the same evidence that the Biden and Obama Justice Departments had, and they determined, not me, they determined that that information was not credible.
Chairman, he's not letting me even ask my questions.
You ask the questions, he gives an answer. You may not like what he says, but that doesn't mean you get to interrupt
He's not answering
him.
my question.
Mr. Chairman, could we
an-
restore the gentlelady 45 seconds so she can
We will
complete
give her
her
additional
question?
30 seconds, which is what I said
I'm
earlier.
going to keep taking my time because
you'll take
here's
the time
thing.
that you get. You get
are
30
not
seconds.
answering the.
You have to understand that Jim Jordan has a long and storied history of looking the other way when people are sexually assaulted. So it's particularly galling and fucked up that he's the one that's helping Kash Patel along his way. But it's trust me on this. This is not working out well for them.